Good day, everyone. For today's discussion, we will talk about the speed of sound.
But before we proceed to our motivation, learning objectives, and discussion, magkaroon muna tayo ng isang review about the past lesson. So the first question is, name at least one characteristic or property of sound. For the second question, give an example of a loud sound and an example of a soft sound. So we are done now to our review. So ngayon naman magkakaroon tayo ng simpleng activity lang before tayo mag-proceed sa ating learning objectives. At ang activity na to ay tinatawag na hula sound. Simple lamang ang mechanics ng larong hula sound. Kailangan nyo lang mahulaan kung ano ang sound na naririnig ninyo. At kapag tama ang inyong nasagot, meron kayong additional na 10 points. So for our first item, for our first sound, okay, very good. This is the sound of cat. What about the second one? Okay, this is a sound or a barking of dog. What about the third sound? Okay, very good. This is a sound of fire truck. And for our last sound or last item, okay, this is a sound of thunder. To those who got the correct answer, you will get the additional 10 points for the recitation. For our learning objectives, first, students compare sound in different media correctly. Students calculate the speed of sound with 10% accuracy. Students apply sound speed concepts to real-life situation. To start our discussion, let us first define what is sound and paano ba napoproduce o nabubuo ang sound or tunog. Ang tunog o sound ay isang mechanical longitudinal wave. Ibig sabihin, ito ay isang anyo ng enerhiya na nanggagaling sa mabilis at paulit-ulit na panginginig o vibration. Sa madaling salita, nakakagawa tayo ng sound o tunog through vibrations, and dahil sa medium nito ay nakakarinig tayo ng tunog. Para mas maunawaan natin, kapag may bagay na nagva-vibrate tulad ng paggalaw ng string ng gitara, nagiging sanhi ito ng paggalaw ng mga particles sa paligid nito. At ang mga particles na ito ay nagmo-move back and forth o ng paulit-ulit at pabalik-balik. At kapag nangyari ito, ang energy ay nagpapasa-pasa hanggang makarating sa ating tenga at marinig natin ito bilang tunog. Mahalagang tandaan din natin na ang sound ay nangangailangan ng medium para ito ay makagalaw. Kapag sinabi nating medium, tinutukoy natin ang mga materyales tulad ng air, water, o solidong bagay or solid. Hindi kasi makakagalaw ang sound sa vacuum o sa walang hangin, kasi wala namang particles na magpapasa ng vibration. Kaya kapag tayo ay nasa space o nasa lugar na walang hangin, walang maririnig na sound kahit sumigaw pa tayo o lakasan na natin ang ating mga boses. Para naman mas maunawaan pa natin kung bakit ba tinawag na mechanical longitudinal wave ang sound, i-define muna natin what is mechanical wave and longitudinal wave. Kapag sinabi nating mechanical wave, ito ang wave na kailangan ng medium para makapag-travel. Ibig sabihin, kailangan nito ng air, liquid tulad ng water, and solid tulad ng mga bagay na mikropono, guitar, or speaker. Hindi ito katulad ng light or electromagnetic waves na kayang maglakbay kahit sa walang hangin. Halimbawa natin ang video okay or karaoke. Tayong mga Pinoy, likas na sa atin ang karaoke or video okay. Kapag kumakanta tayo ng malakas pero walang microphone or speaker, ang boses natin ay mahina, hindi rin ito malinaw at kadalasan hindi naririnig ng kapitbahay o ng mga kasama natin. Pero kapag ginamit natin ang mic at speaker, biglang lumalakas ang ating boses at kadalasan naririnig agad ng mga kapitbahay. Ibig sabihin, and we need to remember, without vibration and without a medium like microphone, sound cannot travel effectively at all. Ngayon, bakit naman tinawag na longitudinal wave ang sound? Ang longitudinal wave kasi, ang direksyon ng paggalaw ng mga particles nito ay parallel o pareho sa direksyon ng paglalakbay ng wave mismo. Ibig sabihin, habang ang wave ay umaabante pasulong, ang mga particles ay gumagalaw ng pabalik-balik at pasulong at paatras. O sa English, push and pull. At ang push and pull or ang back and forth movement ng longitudinal wave ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit nakakapag-travel o bakit naipapasa ang sound or tunog. Ibig sabihin, sound is mechanical longitudinal wave because it needs material to travel and it needs the back and forth motion of longitudinal wave to be passed from one object to another. After knowing what is sound and how sound is produced, let us now know how sound travels. Kapag may bagay na nagbabibrate o gumagalaw ng pabalik-balik at ng mabilis, itinutulak at hinihila nito yung mga particles sa paligid niya. At dahil dito, nagkakaroon ng dalawang region sa hangin, which is ang compression at refraction. At ang dalawang ito ang nagiging reason bakit nakakapag-travel ang sound or ang tunog. When we say compression, ang keyword dito ay squeeze. Because during the compression, the particles are squeezed closer together than normal. Halimbawa, kapag tayo ay pumapalakpak, the forward motion pushes air particles closer to each other. Kapag sinabi naman natin refraction, the keyword is pulled apart or spread out. Because in refraction, the particles are being pulled apart or spread farther apart. Halimbawa, after natin pumalakpak, naghihiwalay agad ang dalawa nating palad. And when we do that, the refraction forms as the particles spread out. And actually, the two region, the compression and refraction, mimics the back and forth or push and pull ng longitudinal wave, which means they are the reason why sound travels or bakit nagsa-travel ang tunog. After natin pag-usapan what is sound and how sound travels, pag-usapan naman natin ang tungkol sa measuring the speed of sound using the clap echo method. The clap echo method is usually used for scientific purposes, especially in school experiments or simple demonstration to find the speed of sound in air. It is usually done when a person stands far from a flat wall, then claps very loud. Then, they will compute it using the formula of B is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance divided by the time, where 2 multiplied by D is the total round-trip distance when the sound goes to the wall and back. And V is for speed of sound with unit of meter per second. Distance is the distance to wall with unit of meter or just simply M. And T is for the time for echo return with unit of seconds or just S.
Ngayon na alam na natin ang formula para sa clap echo method, syempre, gagamitin na natin ito sa ating word problems. Ako muna ang magsasagot ng word problems at kayo naman ang susunod dahil may inahanda kaming exercise para sa formula na to.
For our first word problem, we have a student stands 90 meters from a concrete wall at a Quezon City school field. The average echo time from 10 claps is 0.52 seconds. So, sa ating word problem or sa ating pagsosolve, gagamitin natin ang method na GRESA, which is G for given, R is for required, E is for equation, S is for solution, and A is for answer. So therefore, ang kailangan muna natin gawin ay hanapin ang given, which is our first given is the distance or the letter D, which is the 90 meter. Then the second is the time or the T, which is 0.52 seconds or S. So after natin mahanap yung given, ang susunod naman natin hahanapin is si required. Again, this is the echo clock method. Therefore, what we needed to find is the experimental speed or the letter V. After finding the required, we can now proceed to our equation, which is the V is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance divided by the time. After knowing our given, then the required and also the equation, we can now proceed to our solution. So the first thing that we need to do in solution is to write the formula again, which is the V is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance divided by the time, para mas madali na natin itong ma-substitute. After natin masulat ang formula, ang gagawin naman natin is we need to substitute the value, which is we have 2 multiplied by the 90 meter divided by 0.52 seconds. After natin ma-substitute, ang una muna nating i-solve is yung nasa taas, which is yung 2 and then yung 90 meter or yung distance. So we have 2 multiplied by the 90 is equal to 180 meter. We're just gonna have to write it up or to copy it. So we have 180 meter divided by the 0.52 seconds or yung time kasi hindi naman ito nagalaw. And then after that, we just need to divide the 180 to 0.52. And when we do that, ang lalabas ay 346.1538. And then sa units, again, titignan natin yung units. And as we can see, wala naman magkaparehas na units. Therefore, we just need to copy them. So M, isulat muna ang M, and then yung pahigang line, and then yung S. Therefore, we have 346.1538 meter per second. Pero, kailangan muna natin itong i-round off. Titingin tayo doon sa may decimal, so yung value after the decimal. Kasi kailangan natin itong i-round off sa 3 digits, which is we have 346.1. So yung susunod ay 1. Therefore, it is not higher than 5. Therefore, hindi natin gagawing 346. Rather, stay lang siya as 346 meter per second squared. Therefore, stay lang siya as 346 meter per second. And that's our experimental speed. For another problem, we have in a long school hallway, a student is 50 meter from the wall. Echo returns in 0.30 seconds. So again, we will use the GRESA method. So ang una muna natin hanapin ay given, which is the distance, the D, is equal to 50 meter. And then the time, the T, which is the 0.30 seconds. So after the given, proceed na tayo sa letter R, which is the required. Again, this is an echo club method. Therefore, ang hahanapin natin ay yung speed or yung experimental speed or the letter V. And after ng required, punta na tayo sa may equation, which is ang formula lang naman ng echo clap method ay V is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance divided by the T. Then we can now proceed to our solution. So in solution, again, write the formula, which is the V is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance over the time. After that, pwede na tayong makapag-substitute ng values kasi naisulat na natin eh. Therefore, we have V is equal to 2 multiplied by the distance 50 meter divided by the time, which is the 0.30 seconds. Again, after nating i-substitute, ang una muna nating i-solve is yung nasa itaas, which is si 2 multiplied by the distance, which is 50 meter. Therefore, 2 multiplied by 50 is equal to 100 meter. Then after that, ikakopy lang natin siya. So, isusulat natin 100 meter over yung time 0.30 seconds. After natin maisulat yon, ang gagawin natin ay syempre i-divide na natin, which is 100 divided by 0.30 seconds is equal to 333.33. Again, numerical value lang yon. Paano naman po yung unit? So sa unit, titignan natin if may magkamuka. And if walang magkamuka, we don't need to cancel out. We just need to copy kung alin man yung nakalagay. And wala namang identical na unit, therefore we just need to copy yung M over the S. So we have 333.33 meter per second. But again, kailangan muna natin itong i-round off sa 3 digits. Therefore, titignan natin ano ba yung kasunod ng decimal point. And we have here, kasunod ng decimal point is yung 3. Therefore, 3 is not higher than 5, it is less than 5. Therefore, i-retain lang natin yung first 3 digit na 333. Kaya ang final na sagot natin ay 333 meter per second.
Ngayon naman, kayo ang mag-try paano mag-solve ng speed of sound.
Now, let us talk about the speed of sound in air and how temperature affects it. In a normal room temperature, sound travels at around 343 meters per second. Sa totoong buhay, para kang tumakbo ng 1 kilometer sa loob lamang ng 3 seconds o ng 3 segundo. Ibig sabihin, ganon kabilis ang bilis ng isang tunog. Pero tandaan din natin na sound travels faster in warmer air o sa mas mainit na temperature. Bakit? Because air particles have more kinetic energy. Ibig sabihin, the warmer the particles, the more kinetic energy they have. And the more kinetic energy they have, the more mabilis silang gumalaw. And the more mabilis silang gumalaw, the collisions become quicker and the waves move faster. Kaya naman, mas mabilis ang tunog kapag mas mainit.
For the formula of the speed of sound in air and how temperature affects it, we have the V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius. For B, we have the speed of sound in air or the meter per second, and we have the temperature with the unit of degrees Celsius, and we have the constant or the given, which is the speed at 0 degrees Celsius, that is 331 meter per second. And lastly, we have the average increase per degrees Celsius, which is also constant, which is 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius. Since we already know the formula for the speed of sound in air and how temperature affects it, syempre gagamitin na natin ito para sa word problems. Katulad kanina, ako muna ang mauunang magsagot, and then magpo-provide ako ng exercise para makita or para malaman if talaga bang na-gets nyo ang computation. For our next set of word problems, gagamitin naman natin ang formula para sa speed of sound in air, which is the V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the T or the temperature.
So here we have the comparison. So our first problem is a group of students is discussing how weather affects sound. On a normal day, with air temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, they wonder about the speed of sound. On a very hot afternoon, the temperature rises to 30 degrees Celsius. They want to know how much faster sound would travel and the difference in speed. So we have here the two given temperature, pero una muna nating isosolve is yung 20 degrees Celsius. So again, ang gagamitin nating formula ay yung GRESA. Therefore, kailangan muna nating hanapin yung given, which is first we have the temperature na 20 degrees Celsius. And then yung dalawang constant na since part na sila ng formula, yung average increase per degree Celsius na 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius. And then, yung isa pang constant, yung speed at 0 degrees Celsius na 331 meter per second. So, meron na tayong given. And after that, hahanapin naman na natin yung required, which is ang required is yung speed at 20 degrees Celsius. So, ito muna yung isa-solve natin. After our G, then yung R, now we can proceed to the equation, which is yung formula lang again, which is yung V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the T or the temperature. So, wag malilito kasi yung bigger T, yun yung ating temperature. Yung smaller T, yun yung time. After natin mahanap yung given, yung required, and then yung equation, we can now proceed to the solution. Again, ang una nating isusulat is yung formula, which is V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the temperature. Then after that, we can now do the substitution. So first, we have V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the 20 degrees Celsius. So ang unahin muna nating isolve is yung dalawa, yung nasa gitna and then yung nasa pinakadulo, which is yung speed at yung average increase per degree Celsius, and then yung ating temperature.
So the next step is we need to multiply the two values. And multiply the values of 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius to the temperature, which is the 20 degrees Celsius. So 0.6 multiplied by the 20, that would be 12. Pero numerical value lang yun. So kailangan pa rin natin tignan yung unit. Sa 0.6, meron tayong unit na meter per second degrees Celsius. And sa temperature, meron tayong 20 degrees Celsius. So ibig sabihin, ika-cancel out natin yung magkaparehas, which is yung degrees Celsius. Again, ika-cancel out natin sila kasi ang mathematical equation na pinerform natin ay multiplication. So that leaves us with meter per second. So ang value natin nung pinag-multiply natin sila ay 12 meter per second. After natin ma-multiply yung 0.6 sa 20, ang next na natin gagawin ay i-add na natin yung isa pang constant value, which is yung 331 meter per second. So, i-rewrite lang natin siya. And then, we just need to add the 12 meter per second. So, 331 plus 12, that would be 343. And then, hindi natin ika-cancel out yung unit. Bakit po? Kasi ang mathematical equation lang naman na ginamit natin ay addition. Hindi naman ito multiplication or division. Therefore, we just need to copy yung magkapares na unit, which is yung M and then yung S. So, our answer is 343 meter per second.
So after solving for the 20 degrees Celsius, ang next na isosolve naman natin ay yung sa 30 degrees Celsius. So we have our given, which is the temperature na 30 degrees Celsius. And then we have the average increase per degree Celsius, which is yung constant na dahil sa formula niya, which is yung 0.6 meter per second degree Celsius. And then yung another constant pa na dahil sa formula, which is yung 331 meter per second. So after that, ang gagawin na natin, letter G. So we have the R, the required, which is yung speed at 30 degrees Celsius and the difference between 30 degrees Celsius and yung 20 degrees Celsius. So after ng R, syempre ang susunod ng ilalagay natin o hahanapin natin is yung equation or yung letter E, which is the V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the big T or malaking T, which symbolizes the temperature. So after natin malaman what is our G, R, and then ang E, susunod naman natin gagawin ay solution. So the first thing that we need to do in solution is again, isulat yung pinaka main formula, which is yung V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius. Uulitin ko kapag yung 331 plus 0.6 ay given na kasi constant na ito sa formula. Then, wag kakalimutan yung letter T, which is the temperature. Then after that, pwede na tayo mag-substitute. So we just need to look for the given, which is yung temperature. So we need to substitute them. So we have V is equal to 331 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second degrees Celsius multiplied by the 30 degrees Celsius. So katulad ng ginawa natin nung una, ang una muna natin isosolve is 0.6 and sa temperature. So when we do that, we multiply them. So 0.6 multiplied by 30 is equal to 18 degrees. And then look for the unit na magkaparehas. And as we can see, meron tayong magkaparehas na degrees Celsius. So what we need to do, syempre, ika-cancel natin sila. Matitira na lang yung meter per second kasi wala naman silang kaparehas. And then after that, isulat lang natin uli yung 331 meter per second plus ilalagay na natin yung value na sinolve natin kanina, which is yung 18 meter per second. So kapag inan natin sila, 331 plus 18, that is 349 meter per second. And then when it comes to unit, we don't need to cancel them out kasi hindi naman multiplication or hindi naman division yung ginawa natin, but rather addition lang. So we just need to copy the unit, which is meter per second. Therefore, ang sagot natin ay 331 plus 18 is equal to 349 meter per second, and that's our answer. So after natin isolve yung speed for 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, isosolve naman natin yung kanilang difference. And when we calculate the difference, gusto kong tandaan nyo yung mga words na highest speed and lowest speed. Again, kapag nagka-calculate tayo ng difference sa speed ng sound in air, meron tayong dalawang tatandaan, yung highest speed and lowest speed. Kasi ang formula to calculate the difference is highest speed minus lowest speed. So, kailangan lang natin hanapin yung highest speed, which is yung 349, and then yung lowest speed, which is yung 343. And then we just need to subtract them. So, 349 minus 343 is 6. Yung unit, hindi po tayo magka-cancel kasi again, hindi naman po multiplication or division yung ating ginawa. Subtraction lang. Therefore, copy lang po ang unit na meter per second. So, our answer is 6 meter per second. Yun yung difference ng temperature, yung speed sa temperature na 20 degrees Celsius at 30 degrees Celsius.
Ngayon naman, kayo na ang magsasagot ng word problems about the speed of sound in air and how temperatures affect it. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ang speed of sound in different media. Iba naman kapag tungkol sa speed of sound. Ang bilis kasi ng tunog ay nag-iiba depende sa medium ang materyales na dinadaanan nito. Dahil ang sound ay mechanical wave, kailangan ito ng mga particles na magbabibrate para maipasa ang energy. May dalawang pangunahing factor na nakakaapekto sa bilis ng tunog o ng sound. Una ay ang elasticity. Ibig sabihin, ang pagka-elastic o katigasan. Kung mas matigas at mabilis bumalik sa hugis ang materyales na kinompress, mas mabilis ang tunog. Kaya nga may rule ito na higher elasticity, mas mabilis na tunog. Halimbawa, sa spring, kapag kinompress natin ng spring kahit gaano man ito katagal na nakakompress, kapag binitawan natin ay mabilis pa rin itong babalik sa original nitong shape or itsura. Ganoon din sa elasticity ng sound. Kapag mataas ang elasticity o kung gaano kabilis bumalik sa original shape, ganoon din kabilis ang tunog. Ihalimbawa pa natin ang gitara. Kapag tinapik natin yung metal string, agad na bumabalik sa hugis niya ito at mabilis na nagbabibrate. Kaya mabilis din mag-travel ang tunog sa string at sa bakal na body ng gitara. Pero kung yung plastic na string na malambot at hindi masyadong bumabalik agad, mas mabagal ang vibration at tunog. Pangalawa naman ay ang density, kung gaano kasiksik o karami ang mga particles sa materyales at kung gaano kabigat ang mga iyon. Sa density, may rule na mas mataas na density, mas mabagal ang tunog. Kaya naman, iba ang speed ng sound kapag dumadaan ito sa solid, sa liquid, and sa gas. Sa solid, ito ang pinakamabilis dahil ang particles nito ay sobrang siksik. Kaya kapag nag-vibrate ang isa, agad na naipapasa ang energy sa susunod. Kaya mas mabilis naririnig ang sound. Pangalawa ay sa liquid. Kung ang solid pinakamabilis, ang liquid naman ay nasa middle. Hindi ito mabagal, hindi rin mabilis. Dahil siksik pa rin naman ang particles nito. Pero medyo slightly loose na sila. Kaya naman nag-slide past to each other yung energy na ipinapasa nila para magkaroon ng sound. At ang panghuli ay ang gas. Ito ang pinakamabagal. Dahil ang particles ay malayo na sa isa't isa, kaya matagal bago maipasa ang vibration, kaya hindi agad nare-receive o hindi agad naririnig ang tunog. May iba't ibang formula para sa speed of sound in solid, liquids, and gas. Unahin natin sa solid. In solid, we have the formula of B is equal to the square root of Y, which is the Young modulus, over the P or the density, and we have the V, which is the speed. Ngayon naman, gamitin natin ang formula ng solid sa word problem.
So after knowing the formula for solid, syempre i-apply natin ito sa isang problem solving. So we have here a problem. A student learns that train engineers sometimes put their ear to the rail to hear an approaching train early because sound travels much faster in steel than in air. For steel rail with Young's modulus of 200 times 10 raised to 9 power pascals or PA and density of 7,150 kilogram per cubic meter, calculate the speed of sound in the steel. So again, for every word problem, mauna po natin talagang gagawin is to find the given kasi gresa po ang gagamitin natin. And in the problem, in-state na po na we have the given of Young's modulus which is the 200 times 10 raised to 9 PA or pascals. And then, ibinigay na rin po yung density which is 7,850 kilogram cubic meter. After finding the given, of course, the next thing that we need to do is to find the R or the required. And sinabi na dito is calculate the speed in steel rail. Therefore, ang tinatanong po ay speed in steel. Again, kapag po required, we just need to look to the problem and sinasabi naman po ini-state na agad yung kailangang hanapin. And in this case, ang pinahanap sa atin o ang required natin is speed in steel. So after natin sa given and required, so of course, ang susunod na natin hahanapin is the E or the equation, which is yung formula lang din sa solid na dinefine natin kanina, which is V is equal to the square root of Young modulus over the density. Again, V is equal to the square root of Young modulus over the density. So meron tayong G, R, tsaka E. So next thing that we need to do is for the solution na. Therefore, again, unang gagawin, sulat ang formula, which is V is equal to the square root of Young modulus over the density para po mas madali natin itong masubstitute mamaya. So after natin masulat, pwede na tayong mag-substitute. So we have V is equal to square root yung Young modulus, which is 200 times 10 raised to the 9th power. And then yung unit po, kanina sa given, sunulat natin ay Pascal or PA. Pero dito, iibahin natin yung unit. Other form ito ng Pascal. Kasi para mas makita natin or maintindihan natin yung cancellation ng unit. Therefore, ang gagamitin natin ay kilogram per meter multiplied by the second squared or S squared. So, other form siya ng Pascal, which is yung kilogram per meter multiplied by the S squared or the second squared. And then, sa ibaba, ilalagay lang natin yung density, which is the 7,850 kilogram cubic meter. So, ganito po. Ang una muna natin gagawin is i-divide muna natin yung Young modulus sa density. By the way, yung Young modulus, pwede naman natin itong imano-mano. Pero, pwede nyo rin ito agad-agad ilagay doon sa calculator and then i-divide natin agad yung 7,950. At kapag ginawa natin yon, ang makukuha nating sagot ay 25,477,707.006. O diba napakalaki, napakahaba. Pero mamaya magiging maliit lang din naman yung value niyan. So nasolve na natin yung numerical value. Ngayon, ang gagawin naman natin is yung unit. Again, kapag sa unit, titignan natin alin yung magkamuka. Since division yung gagawin natin, hahanapin natin yung magkamuka. And then, nakita natin yung kilogram, so we need to cancel that out. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa meter. Magkapareha sila, hindi ba? Pero meron tayong cubic meter, merong exponent na 3 doon sa isang meter. So, ang gagawin po natin, ima-minus natin silang dalawa yung exponent nila. So, una, lagay natin yung cubic meter. And then, minus the M. Again, yung M po kasi may invisible one na ito. Kaya kapag may nag-minus natin yung cubic meter minus M, ang matitira is yung square meter o yung M. Then sa taas niya ay 2. Again, kapag may exponent po, ima-minus lang natin sila sa isa't isa. Kaya katulad nung sa M, diba cubic meter, may 3 siya sa itaas and then yung M may invisible 1. So kapag may nag-minus mo yung cubic meter minus M, then yung exponent 3 minus 1, ang matitira na lang is yung square meter. Therefore, susulat natin square meter and then pahigang linya kasi division yung pinerform natin. And then yung S squared or second squared, ang gagamitin na lang natin or ang gagawin na lang natin sa kanya ay ikakopy na lang natin siya and ipipaste doon sa ibaba ng square meter. Then after that, wag natin kakalimutan yung square root kasi may square root pa eh. At kapag in-square root natin, yung answer natin na 25,477,707.006, ang magiging result na lang po, magiging answer na lang nito is 5,048. And then yung unit niya magiging meter per second na lang. Kasi in-square root din natin yung exponent nila. Ang square root ng 2 is 1. Kaya naging meter per second. Remember, may mga invisible 1 ang meter, pati na rin ang second. Pero hindi pa tapos kasi kailangan pa natin silang i-round off. So titignan natin yung pinaka last digit. And then yung pangatlong digit. Kasi sila i-round off natin eh. As we can see, yung panghuli, yun yung basis kung magra-round off ba tayo or hindi. Since 8 ang katabi ni 4, therefore kailangan natin silang dalawang i-round off. Ibig sabihin, yung 48 magiging 50. Pero kapag nakalagay dyan is 44, ang magiging value nila is 40, magiging 5,040. Pero since 48 ito, i-round off natin siya to the nearest. Ibig sabihin, yung 48 magiging 50. Kaya naman, ang pinaka-answer natin is 5,050 meter per second. I-try naman po natin isolve itong pangalawa para mas masanay pa tayo sa solving ng solid. So we have in a new MRT station in Quezon City, engineers use steel support beams with Young's modulus of 210 times 10 raised to 9 power Pascal or PA and density of 7,800 kilogram cubic meter. Calculate the speed of sound in this steel material. Again, ang una po natin gagawin ay hahanapin natin ang given kasi yun yung nakalagay po sa gresa. Already stated naman yung ating given which is nakalagay na rin sa problem which is yung Young's modulus which is 210 times 10 raised to 9 power or the Pascal or it could be PA. And then we have the density of 7,800 kilogram cubic meter. So yung dalawang given natin already stated naman doon sa problem. And then after ng J yung R na which is yung speed in steel. Bakit po? Kasi tinanong na agad dito sa may problem, sabi, calculate the speed of sound in the steel material. Therefore, ang hinahanap po uli natin ay speed in steel o yung ating V. After ng R, letter E na yung equation. Again, isusulat lang natin yung formula for solid. Yung diniscuss natin kanina yung ginamit sa first problem, which is V is equal to square root of Young's modulus divided by the density. So after ng E, doon na tayo sa letter S. Sa solution, palagi ko pong sinasabi na kailangan muna nating isulat yung formula para madali na lang tayo sa substitution. So we have V is equal to the square root of Young's modulus over the density. After natin masulat, kailangan naman na nating i-substitute yung mga value. So, V is equal to the square root of Young's modulus which is 210 multiplied by the 10 raised to 9 power. And then, again, papalitan po natin yung PA or yung Pascal ng other form niya which is yung kilogram per meter multiplied by the second square. Again, papalitan po natin yung PA ng other form niya ng kilogram per meter multiplied by the second square or S square para po makita at malinawan tayo kung paano natin ginagawa yung cancellation ng unit. And then, i-divide natin ito sa 7,800 kilogram cubic meter which is yung ating density. So after that, ang gagawin muna natin, i-divide muna natin yung Young's modulus sa density bago tayo magkaroon ng square root para hindi nakakalito. So kapag ginawa natin yon, yung dinivide natin yung 210 times 10 raised to 9 power kilogram per meter second square sa 7,800 kilogram meter cube, pwede naman natin ilagay agad yon sa calculator. Usually yun ang ginagawa. Pero pwede nyo rin naman imano-mano yung Young's modulus kasi naka-scientific notation siya eh. Pwede nyo siyang gawin in a normal form pero pwede nyo rin naman siyang ilagay na lang sa calculator. So kapag in-input natin yung dalawang value, ang lalabas ay
26,923,076.923.
So yun po yung pinaka value. So, pupunta naman po tayo uli sa sa unit nila. Again, ika-cancel na po natin yung kilogram kasi magkapares po sila ay ng ating ginamit ay division, hindi naman po addition or subtraction. Division. So, ika-cancel out natin magkaparehas. And then, yung meter naman po, again, yung meter cube, ima-minus po natin siya sa meter na may invisible 1. Kaya po, yung exponent na 3, mangyayari po, mababawasan ng isa. Magiging meter cube. Because cubic meter minus m is equal to cubic square meter. Kasi po, nabawasan na. 3 minus 1 is 2. So, after nun, ilalagay na po natin yun as a unit. So, lilisan natin meter cube. Over the square, the second square na hindi naman natin ginalaw. So, we just need to copy and paste it. Then, after that, masulat natin yun, i-square root na natin. So, pwede nyo na siyang i-type sa mismong calculator. So, the square root of
26,920,076.923.
So, ang square root po nito ay, syempre, mas maliit, magiging mas maliit na value na, which is 5,189 meter per second. Na square root din po ang exponent ng meter at ng second. Kaya po, naging meter per second na lang ito. Again, titignan po natin, hindi pa tayo tapos kasi kailangan natin itong i-round off. So, ang gagawin po natin, titignan tayo sa pinakahuling digit, 9. So, higher than 5 ito. So, pwede i-round off natin siya. At yung katabi ng 9 is 8. Ibig sabihin, tataas din ito. Kasi 9 na yung katabi niya eh. Magiging 90 siya. Kasi yun yung pinakamalapit sa kanya eh. Diba kapag nag-round off tayo kung alin yung pinakamalapit? Pero kung 5,184 ito, ang magiging value niya ay 5,180. Pero dahil 9 ang katabi at mas malapit ang 90, therefore, ang sagot po natin is 5,190 meter per second. And that's our answer.
Ngayon naman, kayo ang mag-try gamitin ang formula ng solid sa word problem.
Good day everyone. Today I will explain how to calculate the speed of sound in liquids and gases. First, we need to remember that sound travels through a medium and its speed depends on the properties of that medium. The formula we use is different for liquids and gases. So, formula for liquids where V is the speed of sound and its unit is meter per second. K is the bulk modulus which tells us how resistant the liquid is to compression, and P or rho is the density of the liquid. The important idea here is if the liquid is harder to compress, sound travels faster. If the liquid is denser, sound travels slower. So it walks through calculating the speed of sound in fresh water step by step. Starting with the formula, substituting the given bulk modulus, K is equal to 2.2 times 10 raised to 9 Pascal and density of 998 kg per cubic meter. Doing the division, taking the square root and rounding to get a final result of about 1,485 meter per second. Problem number 2, classroom experiment. Find the speed of sound in fresh water and compare it to the speed in air. Bulk modulus K is equal to 2.18 times 10 raised to 9 Pascal. Density P is equal to 1,000 kg per cubic meter. Speed of sound in air is equal to 343 meter per second. So we use the same formula to find the speed in water. Then divide the water speed by the air speed to see how much faster it is. And then the result we have is speed in water is 1,480 meter per second, which is about 4.31 times faster than in air. So sample exercises. First problem, find the speed of sound in seawater for sonar mapping coral reefs. Bulk modulus K is equal to 2.3 times 10 raised to 9 Pascal. Density is equal to 1,025 kg per cubic meter. So we use the formula V is equal to square root of K over P. calculate it and take the square root to get 1,498 meter per second, then round to the 1,500 meter per second. So our final answer is speed of sound in seawater is approximately 1,500 meter per second. So for the second problem, find the speed of sound in fresh water at 25 degrees Celsius for our student project. Then bulk modulus K is equal to 2.25 times 10 raised to 9 Pascal and density rho is 997 kilogram per cubic meter. So we use the same formula to calculate this, and we take the square root to get 1,502.59 meter per second, then round it to 1,503 meter per second. And then the final answer is speed of sound in this fresh water is approximately 1,503 meter per second. So we're now in speed of sound in gases, and this is the formula for gas. V is equal to speed of sound meter per second, adiabatic index, absolute pressure, Pascal, density, kilogram per cubic meter. So the key point here is the speed of sound depends on pressure, density, and the type of gas. So this is our first problem, and the given is adiabatic index is equal to 1.40, absolute pressure is 101,325 Pascal, and density is 1.225 kilogram per cubic meter. So our goal is to find the speed of sound in air. So we use the formula of V is equal to gamma times P over P. First, calculate the gamma times P is equal to 141,855 Pascal, then divide by density to get the 115,800 meter per second squared, and then take the square root to get the 340.3 meter per second and round to 340 meter per second. So our final answer is the speed of sound in air is approximately 340 meter per second. So for the second problem, this is a physics problem about calculating the speed of sound in hot air in Manila. So our given is adiabatic index gamma is equal to 1.40, absolute pressure is 101,000 Pascal, density is equal to 1.145 kilogram per cubic meter. So our goal here is to find the speed of sound in this hotter air. So we use the gas sound speed formula. V is equal to square root of V times P over P. First, calculate the V times P, 141,000 Pascal, then divide by density to get 123,493 meter per second squared. Then take the square root to get 351.4 meter per second and round to the 351 meter per second. And our answer is the speed of sound in the hot air is approximately 351 meter per second.
So we have the sample exercise 1. This is a problem about calculating the speed of sound in helium gas using its properties. The given is adiabatic index gamma is equal to 1.67, absolute pressure of 102,000 Pascal, and density of 0.168 kilogram per cubic meter. We use the formula B is equal to square root of gamma times P over P. First, calculate the gamma times P is equal to 1.67 times 102,000 is equal to 170,340. Then divide by density and take the square root, and the result is 1007, and our final answer is the speed of sound in helium is approximately 1007 meter per second.
So now let's proceed to checking 10% accuracy. So in this page explains how to check if a calculation is within 10% accuracy using the percentage difference formula, then works through a sample problem. So percentage difference times 100%, if the result is 10%, it's accurate enough. So the result is accepted if it is within 10% of the accepted value. So problem number 1, a student's experimental speed of sound is 346 meter per second and the accepted value is 345 meter per second. So we're going to calculate the absolute difference of 346 minus 345 is equals 1 divided by the accepted value of 1 divided by 345 is equal to 0.0028986 multiply by 100% to get a 0.29%. So the answer is the percentage difference is 0.29%, which is way less than 10%, so the result is within the 10% accuracy goal. We're now in number 2, so this is a problem about checking the accuracy of an experimental speed of sound using the percentage difference formula. So our given is experimental speed is equal to 333 meter per second and our accepted speed is equal to 343 meter per second. Our goal is to find the percentage difference and see if it's within 10%. And we use the formula of percentage difference times 100% and we calculate the absolute difference of 333 minus 343 is equal 10. And we divide by the accepted value, and 10 divided by 343 is equal to 0.0291545, then multiply by 100% to get the 2.92%. So our final answer is the percentage difference is 2.92%, which is less than 10%, so the result is acceptable. Let's have sample exercises. We have this one. This is a problem about checking the accuracy of an experimental speed of sound using the percentage difference formula. Our given is experimental speed of 340 meter per second and accepted speed of 343 meter per second. And our goal is to find the percentage difference, and we use the formula of percentage difference times 100%, and we calculate the absolute difference of 340 minus 343 is equal to 3 and divide by the accepted value of 3 x divided by 343 is equal to 0.0087464 multiply by 100% to get the 0.87%, and our final answer is the percentage difference is 0.87%. So we're now in this page that shows real-life uses of sound waves and the speed of sound. So we're now in thunder and lightning safety. Count seconds between lightning and thunder, multiply by 343 meter per second speed of sound to find how far the storm is. Helps decide if it's safe outside. The second one is sonic boom. When something like a jet goes faster than sound, 343 meter per second or Mach 1, it makes shock waves that create a loud boom. Thirdly, we have echolocation and sonar. Animals like bats, dolphins, and machines like submarines and boats sends out sound pulses. They use how long echoes take to come back times speed of sound to find things like prey, obstacles, or the seafloor. Lastly, we have the medical ultrasound. So doctors use high-frequency sound waves. They rely on the speed of sound in tissue, and it's 1,540 meter per second to time echoes and make safe and real-time images of organs, babies, or blood flow, and no radiation needed. All this use the speed of sound to measure distance or create images in our daily life. And that wraps up our look at sound waves, from how to calculate their speed in different materials to checking our work for accuracy and even seeing all the amazing ways they show up in real life, from staying safe in storms to medical imaging. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned something new today.
And that concludes our discussion. I hope you learned something. But before we end our discussion, gusto ko munang sagutin ninyo ang tanong na ito. How can we use the speed of sound in everyday lives? Once again, this is the end of our discussion. Thank you very much for listening.